other things in life that sometimes will disrupt your peace become easier to deal with because you have a purpose, you have a comeback place, you have a home. Hello everyone, welcome back for another video. So I wanted to do a video today pretty much all about how to make yourself more high value as a woman. I know that's like a huge buzzword, but to be honest, I have been working on my value as a woman, and I really sat down with myself and I said, how can I be more virtuous? How can I be more high value? How can I make my boundaries and my standards fit and suit my lifestyle the way that it essentially works for me? And how can I just attract the right energy and the right people into my life and feel super confident in all of it? So I wanted to kind of do a really quick and easy 5 ways to increase your value as a woman. It's probably not going to be that quick, but at least it will kind of be numbered, and they're not in any particular order, but I think that these are all really important qualities that we need to possess, or just things that we need to take on when we are trying to increase our value as a woman. I think in life, a lot of the times, social media or just honestly, society in general can make you feel like you have to be a lot less, and you have to shrink yourself, and you have to make yourself easy and accessible. No. I am realizing the older I get, the less access that I give. And it's something that has really given me a lot of purpose and meaning to my life, because I feel like I'm protecting myself and I'm providing my own life with a safe environment that suits me and that makes me feel whole. And I hope that this video can help you guys with that as well. And maybe you guys can walk away with the knowledge that being confident really isn't always about your looks. It can be about who you are as a person and how you have improved. So I hope that that will help you guys today. I got new hair. It's very, very, very long. So don't mind me if I'm touching it today, but I'm so excited to do today's video. I'm actually going to brunch with a friend right after this. So I am so excited to get this video to you guys today. And I hope you guys have a blessed Sunday if you're watching this today. And if you're not, I hope you have a blessed day anyways. I love you guys so much. Now let's get into the video. Okay, the first way to increase your value as a woman is to not play about your time. Something I've learned the older I get is how valuable your time is, especially when you work a job, when you have children, when you have animals, when you have a household to uphold, when you have different tasks and things that you need to do in a day. Giving your time becomes more and more valuable. And when somebody doesn't handle your time well, they essentially mishandle you and mishandle your generous giving of your time, you need to be a little bit more gatekeeping with that. And for me personally, I am a quality time kind of girl. I'm not going to say it's my love language, but I would say it's like number 3 for me, in the sense that I do like spending time with people, especially if we're having intellectual conversations, we're growing together, we're doing an activity, we are, going out to dinner. Like, I do love activity-based things, and I love to do things with people. And for me, sorry, there's like dog hair on my mic, which is so typical for me because I have 2 dogs that get hair everywhere. For me, I have realized that a great way to increase your value as a woman is to be a little bit more stingy with how you give your time out. When you are giving your time out to men in dating and you're just always accessible, you're easy to hang out with. And, I love something that R.C. Blake said, and it's so funny because I literally did this the other day. So I was asked out on a date, and essentially he took me to a restaurant and wanted to continue the evening later on, like in a lounge bar setting. And I decided to make the executive decision to go home instead of going to the lounge. And it can be misconstrued from that person as like, oh, she doesn't want to hang out longer, like no fun. But some other people can kind of view it as, wow, like she really is not, hanging out or just chilling. Like, she clearly is a busy woman. And I do appreciate the time that she did give out. And the older I get, the easier it becomes for me to kind of vocalize that I no longer want to continue the evening. And it happened to me multiple times in dates where they want to bring the dinner date to the bar. And to me personally, not saying that I think anything is going to happen. I just think that maybe they think something is going to happen, or they're testing you. I don't know. But my point in the matter is, when you are increasing your value, you need to view your time as precious and valuable. You cannot just give everyone access to you all the time. What is the thing that somebody can take from you for free? Your time. Make yourself view it as you're charging them. If you're spending time with somebody, is it an enjoyable experience? Are you getting something out of it? Is it something that you can learn or grow from, or it's something that is consensual and mutual and fun on both parties? Or do you feel like you're doing it begrudgingly, you're not enjoying it, you're feeling like you're kind of giving a little bit more than you're getting and you're too accessible? It's time to reel it in. Be able to say no, be able to know when to leave a date or a situation. Create a schedule and a planner for yourself as to when you are accessible. So if somebody asks you, when are you available, you can give them these days and these times, and that's the only times that it will work for you. You don't do nightcaps, you don't hang out in the early morning, you can't midday chill. You're just harder to reach, babe. And I'm learning that as I go. I have learned that when I start to like someone, I bend my rules, and then it ends up biting me in the ass. I no longer want to bend my rules anymore because it's important for me to stick to what is important. And what is important is for me to be able to process, hang out by myself, have that solitude and alone time, get some things done in the day. I genuinely have a busy life. I have things to do. I can't hang out all day. And giving out my time is something that is now a privilege to get. If you have my time, you are privileged in some way because I don't just give it to anybody. Okay, the second thing to increase your value as a woman, especially in dating, is to gatekeep your past traumas and kind of protect your past in a way that keeps you feeling like you have ownership of it. I have learned that a lot of people who maybe are struggling in even friendships, family relationships, or dating are oversharing or just kind of over processing, over analyzing, and they're not able to be present. They're not able to just enjoy the time that they're having. Having more surfacey conversations is sometimes a good thing. You don't always have to get deep, quick, and fast. And for me, something that I've learned is people do not need to know everything about you right away. And to increase your value as a person is really to just keep a part of your life to yourself. It's not that you're being secretive. It's not that you're, withholding information to hurt someone. You are just genuinely protecting yourself and your peace. I really want to stress the importance of protecting your peace as a person. Bringing up traumas, talking about past relationships, talking about things that maybe the other person would not understand, or it could be a family member that you're telling them very detailed things about your relationship and you shouldn't. Gatekeep some things for yourself. You don't need to always share. The older I get, the less I share. I really do feel this way. And I allow other people to share. I am more of a listener and an observer than I am a sharer now. And let me tell you something. People really do show you who they are when they share. People really do show you. Let them do it. Let them expose themselves, even if it's a good thing. Let people share with you parts of themselves that are beautiful and let them share parts of themselves with you that are not. You don't need to pry, but some people just offer it up. And it teaches you a lot about a person. You will, in time, be able to develop those more deep emotional connections. It just doesn't need to happen right away, and you don't need to always tell everybody everything about yourself. And I've talked about this in a lot of videos. It's just a way to protect your peace and protect yourself. It is a relationship that you have with yourself. When you have a relationship with yourself and you are practicing self-love and you have a journey that you're on, you are able to stick to keeping those traumas and pain and moments into your journal. You don't need to use a man, a mother, a sister, a brother. You don't need to use them as your personal journal or diary. I'm not saying to not confide in people if you're going through things. I'm not saying not to go to therapy. But what I'm saying is to just gatekeep some things for you. That is a great way to increase your value as a woman. A woman who knows her value does not overshare, does not oversell. They just be. Okay, the third way to increase your value as a woman is to essentially put your happiness first. I used to think that I was a selfish person and I was able to do this, but I realized the older I get that what truly is putting my happiness first is allowing my heart to break before my soul does. And that was said to me by someone recently. And I remember being like, oh my God, what? Now, I'm not saying I've had my heart broken recently, but when I did have my heart broken at one point, what was the pivotal moment for me was, am I going to allow my heart to break so that my soul doesn't? Yes. That is exactly what I want. And me putting my happiness first sometimes looks like putting myself through pain to get on the other side. I don't want to live in misery. I have learned from meeting a lot of people in my life, and even as recent as of weeks from now, I've met people weeks ago that I'm seeing a pattern. A lot of people are miserable. I am in the business of being exactly who I say I am. I don't think I'm perfect, and I do have my problems and my flaws, but I do live the life that I say I live. Whether it's me talking about my mental health struggles, whether it's me talking about my finances, whether it's me talking about the kind of woman I am when it pertains to family relationships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships, I am who I say I am. And I've noticed a lot of people are not. They sell this vindication story of them coming out on top, and they end up really having a lot of trauma and pain that they carry with them in their life. When you increase your value as a person, you heal that trauma, you heal that pain, and you put your happiness first, even if it means getting rid of toxic tendencies, toxic people, not being able to do certain things anymore because it's not serving you. Whether it's drinking, maybe you drink too much and it's causing you to be nasty and mean, and you wake up and you're not motivated. Like, it could be a lot of different things that we are using as vices in our life that can numb pain that we are choosing not to deal with. When you become a valuable person to yourself, because really we're not hoping other people see our value. Of course, it's nice, but this is really about us seeing the value in ourselves and looking at ourselves as a beautiful person all around. It really is putting your happiness first, whatever that looks like for you. Whether that's creating a budget because you spend too much money, and every time you spend too much money, you lose your fucking mind. Whether that's stop dating people who are using you as an emotional dumping ground. There's nothing I hate more than dating someone who uses me to dump their traumas onto. I am not a therapist. I am empathetic and I do care, but I do not want to absorb this energy. I am a happy person. I want to be around happy people. And energy suckers, or people who are not happy, do cling to happy people, do cling to energy givers. You need to be able to discern that and be able to point out who is who. And the older I get, the more happier I become. And I realize that I'll have my moments in my pockets where I'll go through, a little bit of like a depressive state, but it doesn't last long anymore. It used to last me like a week. Now it lasts me less than 24 hours. And I'm like, oh, progress. And I think it really has to do with my routine and how I care about myself, how I treat myself on a day-to-day basis, my friendships and my family relationships being really strong. There's a lot of things. So work on it. Figure out what it is in your life that's kind of struggling and work on it so that you can become happier. It's going to make you a better person all around. Okay, the fourth thing to increase your value as a woman is to find your purpose. I talk about this in all my videos, and it's because it made me a better person. It could make me emotional actually sitting here talking to you guys about my story of how I went from feeling purposeless to purposeful. I feel fulfilled in my life because I found my purpose. I knew that things were not for me. You get a reaction. You know when things are not for you. The things I was doing prior to YouTube were not for me. I tried the dental hygiene thing. I tried doing hair. There was a lot of different things that I tried, and in my gut, I felt like this is not what is for me. My calling is deeper. It's stronger. It's pulling me in a direction that is more about giving back and speaking and having like good conversations with other like-minded individuals. And that's how I got to the place I'm at now. I started getting bigger on YouTube when I was sharing my hygiene secrets and all of that because I wanted to find a sense of community who was able to relate to me in these topics. And I found it. Having my purpose actually gives me so much peace and comfort. When you find your purpose, other things in life that sometimes will disrupt your peace become easier to deal with because you have a purpose. You have a comeback place. You have a home. I deal with things all the time. Weird relationships, friendships ending, business problems, maybe even a money trouble here and there. But because of my purpose, I always come back to center and come out on top. If I was soul searching constantly, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's time to figure it out and try to get better and more rooted in it. When I am not soul searching, because I'm not, I have a place to fall back to. and it's what I care deeply for. You cannot put a price on waking up and loving your life because you love what you do and you love how it makes you feel. I want you guys to find that. That is a high value woman, a woman who cares and has a purpose and walks in it. You don't want to just live your life in a way where you're just getting by and figuring it out. It's okay to do that, but just keep trying. Look for what is calling you, what is pulling you. A lot of you guys have things pulling you in a direction and you're going the other way because you think that that's the right thing to do. No, go where you're called to go. If you believe in God and you understand that God is pulling you in that direction. When I first was struggling to understand why my YouTube channel wasn't taking off, God was speaking to me a lot. And I don't know if I've talked about this here on my channel before, but I've always been a believer in God, of course. But I will say that I didn't have a relationship with God like I do now. And a huge part of my relationship with God now is that I felt like he was speaking to me during difficult moments in my life, and I never felt like I was spoken to by God until then. I would go through very wild experiences that could only be God that have brought me there, because he was trying to tell me, stop steering in a direction that is not for you. You know exactly where you're supposed to drive this car. Now go. And I felt that intuitively, and I felt that in my gut, and I'm like, okay. And I went and walked in my purpose. And here I am, happier than ever. I have gone through breakups on this channel. I've had friendships ending. I've gone through issues with my parents. And because of my purpose, I am filled to the brim. Those all have been worked on, whether it's me healing my relationship with my parents as an adult, because your relationship with your parents as an adult is significantly different than your relationship with your parents as a child. You change. You realize that your parents are just people. You love differently. You love harder. Then, you deal with the friendships ending. You realize that some people just need to not be in your life because you're supposed to go separate ways. And all of this gets dealt with in a better way because you have your purpose. Now, if you were just kind of going through like hardships in your purpose, everything becomes a little bit harder to deal with, I do believe. When I was not walking in my purpose and I was dealing with things, I had more adverse reactions. I was very reactionary and disrespectful. I would have like outlandish responses to things because I was unhappy. Because having a purpose brings happiness. These are all things that increase your value as a woman. So find it. A great way to find your purpose, I know some of you guys are probably going to ask, is to write down some things that you want to do, try them all out, and see what feels good. If you don't like any of them, go back to the drawing board and start again. You will find something. We all have been brought on this earth to do something. Figure out what it is. And the last thing, number 5, to increase your value as a woman is to heal your past. Heal your traumas. I believe that the people who are struggling the most to be high vibrations and they are very low vibrational people are people who carry their traumas with them in their future and in their present. I'm not saying that our traumas are going to go away. They never do. They will stay with us forever. It's about how you look at them that changes your perspective and changes your life. I do not look at my traumas as a hindrance anymore. I look at them as a strength. I am so happy that I went through the things that I went through because it's made me more discerning. It's made me better. It's made me stronger. I feel powerful. I feel like I'm able to identify bad people more because I've dealt with bad people. Like, there are so many things that our traumas teach us if you really look and try to see. But if you're in a victim mindset where you think, why did this happen to me? I didn't deserve this. I deserve better. Hey, my love.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm running so late. I'm on my way to you, but I'm like not going to get to you till like 2:10.
That's fine. We'll just get into the car as soon as you get here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Just text me when you're here.
What?
Just text me when you're here.
Okay, I'll be there soon.
All right, bye. It is so important that you heal your trauma. It is just, it's so crucial. You will feel better, lighter, brighter, happier, more optimistic. You do not want to walk through life pessimistic and negative. You think that something bad is going to happen to you because something bad happened to you in the past. Then it ends up creating bad things. Have you ever heard of the law of assumption? I heard somebody talking about this on TikTok the other day about how she was just a really negative person and she hated life. So when she would get in the car, there would be traffic, people would cut her off, everyone was saying F you. She gets into the office at work and her coworker are arguing back and forth. Like, she actually created the life that she didn't want by being negative. The second she changed her mindset, things started to, around her, be happier. And I have to say I agree, because when I started changing my life, suddenly life started getting easier for me. And I'm thinking, wait a second, why is it easier? Is it money? And then I realized it's not money. It's me. It's my perception. It's my viewpoint. It's law of assumption. It's magic. God blesses you when you are ready for the blessing. I do believe heavily in that. And I know that whenever I go through things, the bigger picture always ends up revealing itself quicker than I even expect. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. And even when I was going through certain things, even in my journey on YouTube, I now see why it happened to me the way it did. And that is something that I've learned. So healing your traumas, healing your past will allow you to increase your value, increase your confidence. You are not going to stay in the past. If it means going to therapy, if it means getting medicated, if it means, doing some soul searching, doing some philanthropy work, doing some volunteering. Sometimes we need to volunteer and see what other people go through for us to do a positive reflection on ourselves. I genuinely think that I have not had it the worst. And there was a time in my life where I thought I had it the worst out of everyone. I mean, I was really in that mind state where I was like, I have it worse than everyone. And then I meet people and I get out in the world and I see what other people go through. And I realize that I don't have it so bad. I do not. Heal your past so you can grow. You can't do those other things if your past is carrying with you in your future and in your present. Put that in perspective. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was kind of like easy, quick, whatever, but I really think that this is going to help you guys with growing and becoming the better version of yourself. Hopefully you guys took something from it. I enjoyed making today's video today. I'm probably going to journal later and write some things that I have accomplished in the past year that have kind of had to do with these points, because sometimes I fall by the wayside and I end up not honoring these things, and then I come back. I always come back to it. We need to give ourselves grace and allow ourselves to make mistakes so we can learn from them. However many times that is. I genuinely believe that we're allowed to learn over and over again until we get it. And as long as, you have the patience to do so. And we become better people because of it. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like these types of videos from me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone. Mwah.